Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome to day 3 of 75 Hard. Today, we are going to go over my reading routine because I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on how I'm reading the Bible on the 75 Hard program. I'm out on my morning walk right now. It's 6 a.m. And before we get to my explanation of how I'm reading the Bible, I'm going to take you to the gym with me. Today is leg day, and I want to cover a little bit of squats. I want to talk a little bit about squats, squat technique. Maybe some of you guys are new to the gym. You're new to squatting, new to the barbell. What I've learned over the last few months since I started working out with my wife is that it is silly to assume that everyone can pick up a barbell and just learn proper technique immediately. It's going to take practice. It's going to take time. There's a lot of small key elements to doing all of these exercises. And while the main thing that's needed is mind and body connection, mind and muscle connection, having some tips and insights is always helpful. So I'm going to finish my walk, go back home, get ready for the day, and then I'll see you in the gym. All right, it's 7:55. I'm running a little bit late to the gym. So I just wanted to show you guys my morning pre-weightlifting cocktail, right? I've got a 40-ounce bottle. So throughout my 75 Hard program, I drink 3 of these per day. And I also drink 8 ounces of water. So like a glass of water. It's typically a bigger glass because I drink most of my water early on. So I'm thirsty by night. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up, 40 ounces. And then I'm putting in Element. This is an unflavored pack, just some extra electrolytes. It's cold outside, but I'm still sweating when I go out for walks. I'm sweating in the gym. You know, the water's running through me, so just want to make sure that I'm hydrated throughout the day. And then I've got this is ISO Pure Creatine. This is a creatine monohydrate. And the reason why I take this, it's because it helps you recover from the workouts a little bit faster. What creatine does is that it helps your muscles retain a little bit more water, and that water just helps the recovery process tremendously. And I'm sure there's a whole scientific explanation behind it. I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a scientist. So that's all I know. Plus, it gives you a sick pump. Although you can't really see pumps when you have, when you're plump and you have 135 plus pounds of extra weight on you. But yeah, this is my morning cocktails. Okay, let's talk about squat technique tips for beginners. These tips aren't going to make you an elite lifter, but they will help you stay safer for longer. Tip number 1 is warm up slowly. You want to make sure you perform enough squats with very low weight before you get to your working weight for the day. I typically like to start off with body weight and slowly add more and more weight until I reach the weight that I'm going to be counting sets for. What this does is that it allows me to study my foot placement to make sure that my leg muscles have the proper mobility. I'm checking to make sure that my rear is driving the squat and that my shoulders are loose and warm enough to grip the barbell in a safe position. This is going to help you long term because by the time you reach your working weight, your body is warm, your blood is flowing, and your muscles are moving like they should. Today I cranked out 5 sets of 185 by 5 reps, and I did a lot of squats before I got to this weight, and that's okay. Tip number 2 is bar placement. You want to make sure you study your back and where this bar should rest. And you can do that while you're warming up for your squats. I like to hold the bar between my traps and back muscles, but I have seen people put it on their neck. That's not good. It's going to hurt your spine. And I've seen people put it too low on their back, and that's not good neither, because once you get heavier squats, it's easier to drop that bar and hurt yourself. Tip number 3 is going to help you get stronger faster, and that is planting your heels on the ground. These shoes are not for lifting, so you probably see my heels coming off the ground here. That's no bueno. You want to avoid that. That's poor ankle mobility there, and it's really just going to set you back. So look up some exercises and make sure you're loosening up those ankles before squatting. All right, my friends. So 75 Hard requires that you read 10 pages of a nonfiction self-improvement book a day. I'm not sure if the self-improvement part is a thing, but I assume it is. Now, when we think about books, right? Like take one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits. This is something I've been working on for a while. This book has an average of 15 words per line, and there's 28 lines per page. That's just an average. Some lines might have a little bit more words. Some pages might have less lines. No page is even or equal, right? Now, the Bible is written a little bit different. It's separated into columns. I'm currently using an NASB Tony Evans Study Bible. And what that means is this. Look, there's many different versions of the Bible. And mainly what changes is the way that it's translated. You have Bibles that are old school, like I've tried to read before in the past, that include words like, thee, thou, shalt. Throwbacks. It's the throwback. This Bible is not that. The NASB is the New American Standard Bible, I believe. And it's written in common English like you and I speak, yet it's supposed to be one of the most accurate translations. Okay, so that explains the NASB part of this Bible. Second part of this Bible is that it's a study Bible by Tony Evans. Tony Evans is a pastor, pretty well-known, famous guy. So when I say study Bible, it means that it's got a column at the bottom where Tony Evans has his notes. Because the Bible is such an old book, some of the stuff, I guess, isn't very clear. Or sometimes there's stories that, until you get to like the 10th page on that story aren't going to make sense. So the nice thing about the study notes is that it kind of gives you his commentary on what's happening throughout the actual text. When I started reading the Genesis, I was really relying on those study notes. And now that I've kind of got the hang of the way literature is explained, and once I've realized that if I just stick around and just read a few more pages, I'll more than likely get a clearer picture of what I'm reading, I try not to use the notes too much. So when looking at the Bible, each page has 2 columns. Each column has 9 words per line and an average of 47 lines per column. Remember what I said? Average book, Atomic Habits, has 15 words by 28 lines. That's 420 words per page. Each column of the Holy Bible has 9 words by 47 lines, which comes out to an average of 423 words. So each column on this Bible is equivalent to 1 page on a book. So look, I've been on Facebook groups where we have the 75 Hard Puritans that tell you, you gotta, flip the page or you gotta restart the program. So be it. Dude, if I'm breaking a rule, I'm breaking the rule. I don't care. To read 1 page of the Bible is the equivalent of 2 pages on a standard book. So what I'm doing is that I'm reading 10 columns per day. And if I have to, read the notes, then that's just added contents. That's some extra meat that I'm reading. And in that scenario, I read more than I should have. Oh, well. I'm using a 5-day Bible reading plan. And what this is going to do is that it's going to help me read the Bible in 1 year. The Bible is 1,800 pages. By following this guide, I'll be able to read the Bible in 1 year. This Bible guide is super useful. Now, it's only supposed to be used 5 days a week, meaning if you do your reading, you have 2 days off from reading, in which case I will be reading The Storyteller's Secret. I'm maybe about like 1/3 of the way through, but I'll start it over again. This book was really good, and it's going to help me with what I'm doing now, with articulating my message a little bit better, because I tend to ramble on, and I know that just being able to tell a story is something that's going to help me long term. So 10 columns per day is an average of 10 pages on a regular book. If you guys are interested in reading the Bible with me, then I'll have that link in the description so you can download the PDF free. I didn't come up with the PDF. I found it on Google. As a matter of fact, the 5 days a week is too much reading every day. You can find different plans online. My friends, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate all the love I've been getting in these last few videos. I'm glad to be back in motion, and I'm glad to be getting these workouts in and just back on my regimen. It feels good to be structured, but now I've got to go put on my realtor cape and get back to work. So thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new, leave a comment down below. We've got an awesome community forming in the comments section. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.